Welcome back to the Hermitcraft FTB monster server. And once again, I'm up here at the arrival platform. That when you go to the Nexus back in the spawn town and you take the book that takes you here, this is where you land. And I also corrected an oversight. I finally put a book down here that goes back to the Nexus. Because I should have done that when I first built this platform, but I never did manage to get it done. Finally, it's taken care of. Another thing, a little cosmetic change here. For the longest time, I had this long gash in the land here, coming up from the water, going all the way up to the building. And I have finally gotten that covered over. In another Minecraft day or so, all the grass will have grown over, and you'll never be able to know it was there. Okay. Another thing here is that all of these farms are currently turned off. I've gone ahead and I've put a lever on each of these harvesters, flipped it on, and disabled harvesting for the time being, because if I look in here, I have got a lot of essences. And so I decided to, oh goody, just a moment. Options, video, animations, particles minimal. There, we don't have to listen to the rain, because it's daytime and I can't make it go away. Anyway, so I've got production on that stuff stopped for the time being. And then I got looking in the system here, because most of these lights, most of them were either red or orange. And you'll notice there's not very much of that going on right now. See, I had made, as you recall, several of these 16M storage devices. And as a matter of fact, I now have 4 of them. There's one in here in this ME chest. And I've pre-formatted it to only accept these items. And this is an export bus, which is now exporting those items into this ME chest onto this 16M storage device. Once all of those 9 items, well, there's 8 in the thing, but there's actually 9 items right across here. I put one here, put them across here like this, in the order they were originally in here across the top. Over 1 million stone, over 1 million sugarcane, a lot of charcoal and glowstone and all this other things. Once all of these are transferred onto this device, I will put it back in the system over there. And then I'll get out another one, and I will take the next 9 items that I have the most of and transfer them into one of these things. And I think that will make the system run a little faster and prevent having a bunch of red and orange lights on the rest of these 64K drives. So that will take care of that. It'll take a little while, but what the heck. I'm not doing anything with any of that stuff at the moment anyway. As a matter of fact, to prevent difficulties and whatnot, I've even disconnected the wire down below there that connects to all of these machines and whatnot. So all of that stuff is currently disabled for the moment. And now back here, I started something. I have a new lighting scheme. Nitor, floating 4 blocks above the ground. And it does a very good job of lighting everything up. I think it looks quite spectacular and so on. I've gotten some jars of essentia over here. Most of them are full, some partials and whatnot, a lot of duplicates. And I've got some spares over here, 6 full jars of herba essentia, which I'm going to be needing for something not too far down the line. And of course I've disassembled most of the stuff that went with this thing, because I'm not going to use it the way I was trying to before. In fact, what I need to do is get some golems going on. Okay, now let's see. Pop this up here, and I need 2 of these golem upgrade waters. It improves the range, how far they can see and sense. I've got 2 upgrades of order that improves their intellect and so on. And now I need to make a couple of golems. And if I look it up in here, the tallow golems, picking these because they can handle 2 upgrades. So I need 9 tallow into a block of tallow, and then that block of tallow goes into the crucible with, what is that, 8 humanus, 8 modus, and 8 spiritus. You know, I really wish that Azenar would make these numbers somewhat bigger, because I find it very difficult to tell the difference between a 3, an 8, and a 6 in this, given how small these numbers are. I really wish they'd be bigger. So, anyway, let's get some tallow. We need 2 like that. And okay, modus, spiritus, humanus. All right, got my stuff together here. See, what I was making the mistake of trying to get the aspects out of Manabeans, but I don't have enough Manabeans to do that right now. So I need to get these aspects in there, and then drop this tallow block in, and I'll get a golem out of it. Okay, so 8 rotten flesh, 4 rubber, 8 solar, 8 slow sand, soul sand, whatever, and 1 tallow. And it looks to me like not all of the rubber balls made it. And now I have a freaking mess. Ugh. Oh, I'm going to have to start it all over again. And this is going to mean a mess to clean up. Fortunately, the gaseous taint is just going to climb up through to the ceiling of the world, and that'll be the end of that. Okay. Let's set it up and do it right this time. The rotten flesh, 4 rubber, and 8 slow sand, because the 4 rubber's got 2 modus in it, so I only need 2 of those. Alright, and then follow it with alright, and then 8 of these. And 1 of those. And we do not have a golem. What we have is an unholy mess in the cauldron. Ugh. All right. I'm going to clean this up and get ready to try it again. Okay, let's see if I can get it right this time. Okay, we have our first one. Okay, let's set this up again. And rinse and repeat. And here's our second one, although we do have something of a mess. I'm not going to worry about that right now. It may just cook off. I'm going to leave it sit and see if it will. In the meantime, we've got the two golems. We need the golem animation cores. And I need this one, harvest. Okay, I can't let that cook off because I have to make this in the crucible. Yeah, okay. The blank animation core, which is going to be bricks around Nitor. Okay, brick. And Nitor. Two blank animation cores. Yeah. All right, we'll clean this mess up. Oh crap, there's still a bunch of stuff in there. Shift right click. Get rid of that. Fresh bucket of water. Okay. And now, take a blank animation core. Oh God, I can't read those numbers hardly at all. I think it's 5 Messis and 5 Meadow. So I will take a look and get those materials together and we'll do this. Okay. I think I got it figured out here. Need 5 bread, 3 shears, and then drop in a blank core. Okay, and then we repeat. 5 bread, 3 shears, second animation core harvest. All right. Okay, and there's a bit of a mess there. So let's just beat it to the punch and... Actually, I'm going to leave it for right now. Okay. Okay, now. Let's see. What I'm planning to do here, let's see, I'm going to need some wood. And yeah, I had some and then I put it away. Anyway. I'm going to do an arrangement kind of like this, with 2 blocks in between so the golem has room to maneuver. They don't need to be any higher than this. And what I'm going to be growing here on these trees is Manabeans, because this place, especially this side of it, is located in a magical forest biome, which is the only place where the Manabeans will grow. And for each type of essentia, there is one type of Manabean. Of course, the Manabeans grow randomly. Each time they grow, they're of a random type. But if you grow enough of them, you get plenty of every type. Alright, let's go ahead and put this wood away. Alright, we'll just grab as many of these as we can. Alright. And they're going to grow pretty much like the same way cocoa beans do in vanilla. Now what I need to do here is to have a chest pretty much in the middle And for the time being, it's just going to be a chest. Actually, let's go ahead and make it a diamond chest. For the time being, I will probably, no, actually, I will almost certainly set it up to do something different. Let's see. Yeah, I believe just a matter of take these guys, set it down there, and then right click with the animation core, and then the upgrade order, and upgrade water. The order makes him able to replant when something is ready to harvest, and the water upgrade gives him a better range. And now what I need to do is go through this whole place and see to it that there's Manabeans on every one of these trees. Alright, I was just watching our little guy here, and he is doing the harvesting and replanting and whatnot, but I just kind of derped here real big time because I made the mistake. I forgot that the other golem needs to not be the same kind as this guy. What he needs to be is the gathering. He needs a golem core gather. And so I take a blank animation core, pop it in there with some lucrum and some earth, and we'll get a gathering animation core. I just need to get the right aspects together and do that. All right, this should be easy enough. Just give it 1 emerald, 5 dirt, and the core. Bingo, we have the gather animation core. All right, so now see, there's a Manabean right over there. If I zoom in on it, he's harvested, but he's a harvester. He doesn't gather. All right, let's put this second golem down here. Just right click him on the front of the chest, and then we'll hit him with the core. He's already going over to do his thing. He's picking it up, bringing it back to the chest. All right, and now let's go ahead and give him the upgrades. That'll give him a better range and a little bit better intellect. He'll do his job better. And now what I need to do is go ahead and, oh, don't you dare try to go down there. I'm going to get a input bus on the bottom of that chest and run it into the Mac. Okay, so I've got the line hooked up from the import bus under the chest, and now anything that, okay, this guy will harvest and replant. This guy will pick up the stuff that doesn't get replanted and drop it in the chest. ME system will then import it, and then over time I will find more Manabeans here, and I will get more of them planted. Of course, now the big thing is these things grow slowly, but there is an answer to that, and that relies on this thing right here, the lamp of growth. Provide it with herba essentia, and things within range will grow faster. You start that with an arcane lamp, which you make this way in the arcane workbench. Okay, that's not a problem. I've got a couple of those. And now I need to set up a infusion crafting setup over here to turn those into lamp of growth. Some gold, some earth shards, bone, and 16 herba. I believe that's 8 lux and 16 victus. The herba and lux are no problem. I've got lux right there. I've got herba all over the place. Not a problem. But the victus, I don't have a single jar of that. But I've got eggs that have granum, victus, and bestia in them. So I'm going to set a jar down here, set one down here, and then I'm going to remove the currently existing labels on here. And yes, I just wasted the essentia that was in there to get rid of it. And I'm going to put some eggs in here. And that's the one we want. So I'm going to pop a label on that so that only that essentia will go into that particular arcane alembic. So we'll take the pipe, run that down here, and label the jar. And now we've got granum and herba in the system as well. And looks like tenebrae up there in that one. So let's see. The granum, that was that's part of the egg. Okay. So we'll take pipe here, pipe there, come down there. Label that alembic so that only that stuff will go into it. And now we're collecting this and we're collecting that. And all I have to do is keep pumping eggs into this thing until I've got a full jar of that. And this is the way I've been populating these jars over here. It is, to say the very least, effective, but a pain in the butt. And I'm going to set up to be able to do this with golems, but that's going to take a little bit of production. And one of the first things we're going to need is a royal crap ton of Manabeans. So, more eggs and more essentia until we have enough to make the lamps of growth, which will make those Manabeans grow faster. Alright, I'm ready with the essentia I need over here. And now it's time to get this thing together. Now, one thing about this, the procedure is simple enough, and I've got the stuff I need. But this right here, instability moderate. Okay, it means there is a moderate chance of some instability problems. And I've done a little reading about that, and it seems that putting things like tallow candles and zombie heads and mob heads or whatever flying kind you can get around this thing in crystal clusters helps cut the instability possibilities. It reduces instability for some reason. Exactly how that works, I don't know, but we've got it set up here. Okay, that should minimize that problem. Now we take our 2 arcane lamps. Okay, 1 arcane lamp in there, and then gold, bone meal, earth shard, and gold. And let's see, so we pop gold there, bone meal, and earth shard. And let's see, gold on that side, so we'll do it on this one over here, and then a bone meal and another earth shard. Okay, that looks ready to go. And so now we just whack this matrix in the center with the wand, and procedure begins. Draws in all the essentia. What was that that just went bang? I lost one of the gold. Okay. That's why you want to keep extras of your ingredients that go on the top. Now, did this one get lost? No, it was there. It just got infused. Okay, we're good. Alright. Items are coming in, and now we have one lamp of growth. Alright. Now, just repeat the situation. And do it again. Okay. Start that going. Hopefully nothing disappears. If it does, I can put it back real quick. Just drawing in all the essentia. Now it's going to start chewing up the objects themselves. Okay, everything looks good. Last item coming in. Okay. Right click on the center pedestal there and we're good to go. We have 2 lamp of growth. Alright. I'm going to set one right there. And the other one over here. And now let's get a little something to fuel it with. I didn't want you. All right. Now I could work some kind of a essentia piping system, perhaps. It might make that a little better. But the idea here is that these things are going to make this stuff grow faster. And there we go. Harvest and replant. He's picking it up. That means... Alright, we've got 3 fresh Manabeans already. Excellent. And what I'm going to do is get these things planted pretty much as they come in, so that we have more growing going on. And I'm going to just kind of keep an eye on this for a while. Let our growth happen. I want to keep an eye on how much these essentia jars go down. See, that one's down from 64 to 55 already. This other one's not down at all. So I'm going to keep an eye on that. Kind of get an idea how long that essentia jar is going to last. Okay, I've noticed that these jars are going down pretty doggone quickly. So I'm thinking maybe there's a way to deal with this a little better. Okay, I'll have to break that nitor. Put a pipe on there. And run it over here to this thing. You see that top alembic has herba in it. If I run this pipe over here, and connect it like so, that will have the effect of refilling the jar, which should still be able to fuel. Yes, it is able to still fuel these 2 lamps of growth. Apparently some of these things go up on the top for some reason. A little weird, but hey, what the heck. And now I need to do something with these 2 alembics that have, this one has arbor and this one has granum in it, and we don't need those things. So I have a solution, and that is a variation on the warded jar, which is a void jar. A bit of obsidian, warded jar, ender pearl, and a little bit of vis. And we have a couple of void jars. I take the void jars and I drop one here, and I'll go ahead and throw a label on it, and I'll I'll drop another one here. Label that one. Now the void jars, the thing about those is that once they're full, they will still accept essentia, which will allow the system to not be clogged. Now all I need to do is I can run an export bus from the ME system over here to keep this thing full of saplings, which will power this whole mess. Okay, it looks a little but I do believe it's going to work. Alright, so let's see. We have export bus. And some cable. Okay, let's slap the export bus down here. We'll tell it to export saplings, stack at a time. Hook it up to the system, and bingo. Of course, there is the matter of coal to fuel this thing, so perhaps we can get another export bus. And I hope we can export coal onto the other side. Oh, wait a minute. I'll just grab a piece out of here. There's charcoal. The sapling import is working. The coal apparently is going to have to go in through the bottom. Alright. Flight control. How about get my steering figured out here. Okay. Actually, pardon me, had a sudden cough come up on me. That's always a lot of fun. Okay, this thing is not taking in the charcoal. Alright, let's first realize I didn't have to go to all that length. I just needed that. But it's not taking the charcoal. I tried sending it in the bottom. That didn't seem to work. The side certainly didn't work. Well, I tried the back. Flight control, geez, come on. Okay, let's try exporting it into the side. Will that do us any good? No. So we can feed it. All right, how about this? Take that out of there. Break that one. Just have the one provide both materials. Will that work? Evidently not. Well, nothing else. Oh, that's right. All the charcoal is in that other thing, which actually should probably be finished by now. Okay. That might be why it wasn't importing. Yeah, I'll bet you that was it. Okay. Well, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to stop that thing. Let's take this drive. Set it in there. Let's try the charcoal export again. I have a sudden feeling it's going to be working. Probably not from there, but possibly from there. Set it stack at a time. Ah. Now I need to turn flight control on and try it again from the bottom. Flight control off, please. Okay, all right, it's working. Great. So now we've got constant distillation. We have the things we don't want or don't need for this going into void jars, so the excess is gotten rid of. And the herba output is going over here into this jar, and it will power these 2 lamps of growth and keep this thing going. All right. Excellent. Now, I don't have to worry about this thing running out, because I figured these jars were going to run out, because I watched it and I timed it, and one of those jars went from full to empty in about 10 minutes. Now, we've got an endless supply of fuel to keep these things going. And in a day or two, there should be a really large number of Manabeans available, and we'll take the next step then. Thanks for watching. Take it easy. I'm out of here.